Welcome to Mainly Main TV, Mainly TV. We're broadcasting live right now on 104.5 Skowhegan. And we're just going to do some stuff related to songwriting and some basic information, playing some music. And it won't be much video, but you'll enjoy it, I hope. This is the G Man. Ashtrays are overflowing, whiskey bottles in the trash. All my friends have gone. I'm last. They say I drink too much. Yeah, I smoke too much too. And all I've got to say is too much is all I do. And I won't be home until late, 'cause I can't go through my life straight. You know I really do love you. Yeah, I gotta get out and sing some whiskey. Guitars in the corner, yeah, it's begging me to play. Pack up all my bags and run away. I can hear the road it's singing. What am I gonna do? 'Cause all my friends are waiting for some whiskey blues. And I won't be home until late, 'cause I can't go through my life straight. You know I really love you. Yeah, I gotta get out and sing some whiskey. I won't be home until late, 'cause I can't go through my life straight. You know I really do love you. Yeah, I gotta get out and sing some whiskey. Oh, play it for me, pretty. voice. Well, here I am. I just wanna be J.D. tonight. J.D. Don't wanna move to Hollywood. Don't wanna hang out with stars. All I want to do is go real fast. I just wanna be J.D. tonight. J.D. I just wanna be J.D. tonight. J.D. I was always like a gypsy here, I moved with the wind. Never knew where I was going, never knew where I'd been. I never listened to what mama said. I was too busy running away in my head. Now I wanna see mama hear that old rooster crow, like I did as a boy on the farm. Someone keeps calling me home, carry me home, carry me home. in self-defense. But the judge and the jury said they weren't convinced. When the verdict came back, I fell to my knees. It was hard to believe I would die in Tennessee. Now I wanna see mama eat that old rooster crow like I did as a boy on the farm. Someone keeps calling me home, carry me home, carry me home. He said with a smile, son, come on, let's walk that last mile. I looked at him, my eyes filled with fear. That hellbound train was almost here. Now I wanna see mama hear that old crow like I did as a boy on the farm. Someone keeps calling me home, carry me home, carry me home, yeah. Yeah, get me out of the city. I gotta get back to the farm. Carry me on home. Now I wanna see mama eat that old crow like I did as a boy on the farm. Someone keeps calling me home, carry me home, carry me home. Good morning, world. How have you been? Let's all join hands. Let's all be friends. In the world, going round and round. Too many ups, so many down. A given community will keep us free, sharing the dream for those in need, working together for democracy, working together for a dream, coming together for a dream, working together as a team. We all need to chase our dream. We all need to get our dream. We all need to chase our dream. running together, chasing, chasing the dream. Standing on the inside, looking out. Standing on the outside, looking in. There hangs a dream catcher, blowing in the wind. This is where it all began. Everybody holding hands, everybody taking a stand, everybody being a team, everybody chasing our dream. We all need to catch 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 our dream. Dream on. Dream on.
Live a life of wonder. I wonder what it's all about. Sometimes I go under, but your love has pulled me out. I know that life's like a river. You can't swim against the giver. Not a taker like some I know. You're in my mind this morning, and you know how I feel. Your love keeps me running, it keeps me spinning like a wheel. I live a life of wonder. I wonder how I fit in. I've got the world on a string now. Yes, I love the skin I'm in. It takes two to play this game. I heard that both can win. Grab the wheel and close your eyes and give it a spin. I know that life's like a river. My girl, she's a giver. Sometimes I just wonder. Sometimes I just wonder what I know. 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 Sometimes I wonder what I know. What I know. Sometimes I wonder what I know. What I know.
Yeah, that was Richie Ballatola, and I played some originals also. So right now we're live at 104.5 here in Skowhegan. We're also live streaming on mainly TV. And you know what? We're not professionals. We're doing the best we can, and that's just what we're doing. Some songwriting tips from the famous songwriter George Harrison.
Hi, Tony from Songwriters Chop Shop here. In this episode of Songwriting Tips from Famous Songwriters, we're going to be looking at former Beatle and legendary songwriter George Harrison. George Harrison was interviewed at WABC FM radio in New York on May 1st, 1970, shortly after the announcement of the Beatles had broken up. During that interview, he came out with this statement: because there was a time in my life where I realized anybody can be Lennon and McCartney, because being part of Lennon and McCartney, really, I could see how good they actually are, And at the same time, I could see the infatuation the public had, or the praise that was put on them. I could see everybody's a Lennon and McCartney, if that's what they want to be. The point is, nobody's special. It's no secret that the breakup of the Beatles was bitter to say the least, but if we look at Harrison's journey in the band as a guitarist that emerged from the shadows of two songwriting giants to write some of the Beatles' most beloved songs, this statement actually holds the secret to becoming a great songwriter. Born February 25th, 1943, to a bus driver and a homemaker, Harrison is said to have had a very undramatic childhood. At 13, heavily influenced by the hit makers of the time, like Elvis, he started playing the guitar. By age 15, he joined a little-known rock and roll beat combo known as the Quarrymen, soon to become the Beatles. Before getting signed, the Beatles were rejected by several record companies. Eventually, George Martin reluctantly signed the Beatles to EMI's Parlophone Records, and they started recording in June 1962.
I first met the Beatles in 1962. I wasn't terribly impressed with the first stuff they did. I thought their music was rubbish.
Although everyone in the band was encouraged to write songs, John and Paul had had a head start, but even they were only getting started and still had a lot to prove.
Having to produce two albums a year in the early days and a single every 3 months, regardless of what the hell else you were doing, or what your family life was like, what your personal life was like, nothing counted. You just had to get those songs out. Now, Paul and I turned out a lot of songs those days, and it was easier because it was the beginning of our relationship and career.
Anyone who's ever been in a band knows members will be more driven than others, and some will be more opinionated than others. As a result, George found it hard to be taken seriously as a songwriter.
Paul and I really carved up the empire between us, George didn't even used to sing when we brought him into the group. He was a guitarist. He just wasn't in the same league for a long time. That's not putting it. He just hadn't had the practice at writing that we had.
With talents like John and Paul, who are probably the greatest songwriters of the 20th century as far as we're concerned, it's tough opposition. And they collaborated and kind of rivaled each other in their writing.
They'd had a lot of practice, put it that way. They'd been writing since we were at school. And so they'd written most of their bad songs. They'd written before we got into the recording studio. For me, I had to come from nowhere and start writing, and to have something at least quality enough to be able to, put it in the record with all the wondrous hits.
The band released their first single in October 1963, Love Me Do, written by Paul McCartney. By February 1964, the band's appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show had catapulted them into worldwide stardom. George Harrison was 21, and being in the band gave him a very unique perspective.
The funny position I was in was that in many ways, this whole focus of attention was on the Beatles. So in that respect, I was part of it. But from